If you're over 60 and eating what you think are normal, everyday foods, what I'm about to reveal could shock you. There are 5 common foods that millions of seniors consume regularly, believing they're harmless or even healthy. But these seemingly innocent foods are literally shrinking your brain and accelerating cognitive decline with every bite. I'm talking about foods sitting in your kitchen right now that are damaging the blood-brain barrier, triggering dangerous inflammation in your brain tissue, and destroying the neurons responsible for memory and thinking. One of these foods triples your risk of stroke and dementia. Another is marketed as healthy but causes your brain to physically shrink. And a third creates the perfect storm of brain-damaging inflammation. Here's what's truly terrifying. These aren't obvious junk foods. These are foods that seniors choose, specifically because they think they're making good health decisions. The food industry has convinced millions of seniors that these brain-destroying foods are actually beneficial, while they're quietly accelerating cognitive decline. I'm not here to take away all your favorite foods or make your diet complicated. I'm here to expose the truth about 5 specific foods that are particularly dangerous for aging brains. After 60, your brain becomes more vulnerable to inflammatory damage. Your blood-brain barrier becomes more permeable, and your body's ability to repair brain tissue decreases significantly. What seemed harmless in your younger years can now cause irreversible brain damage that steals your memory, thinking ability, and independence. Understanding these hidden threats means you can make informed choices that protect your brain health. Let's expose the 5 foods that are secretly shrinking your brain, counting down from number 5 to the most dangerous. Pickles, the sodium brain bomb. Pickles might seem like a harmless, low-calorie snack, but they're actually brain-destroying sodium bombs that many seniors eat regularly without realizing the cognitive damage they're causing. Store-bought jarred pickles are extremely high in sodium and often preserved with chemicals like alum and sodium benzoate that damage blood vessels in your brain. A single large pickle can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly half your daily recommended limit in one small snack. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension found that high sodium intake in seniors is directly associated with cognitive impairment, especially when not offset by adequate potassium intake. Here's how excessive sodium from pickles specifically damages your brain. High sodium levels cause your blood vessels to constrict and become less flexible, reducing blood flow to critical brain regions. Your hippocampus, the brain's memory center, is particularly vulnerable to reduced blood flow because it has high energy demands and limited backup circulation. The preservatives in commercial pickles compound this damage. Sodium benzoate can cross the blood-brain barrier and cause oxidative stress in brain cells. This oxidative damage accumulates over time, contributing to brain cell death that characterizes dementia. Many seniors eat pickles as part of meals already high in sodium, creating a compound effect that overwhelms their body's ability to process excess salt. A sandwich with deli meat and pickles can easily contain over 2,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly a full day's worth in one meal. Orange juice, the brain volume destroyer. Orange juice has been marketed to seniors as a healthy source of vitamin C, but store-bought orange juice is actually a brain-destroying sugar bomb that can literally shrink your brain tissue. Unlike whole oranges, commercial orange juice delivers concentrated fructose directly to your bloodstream, triggering dangerous spikes in blood sugar and insulin that damage brain cells. The Framingham Heart Study found that sugary beverages, including fruit juices, are tied to smaller brain volume and accelerated brain aging. Researchers discovered that people who regularly consumed sugary drinks had measurably smaller brains and performed worse on cognitive tests. When you drink orange juice, your blood sugar spikes rapidly because there's no fiber to slow absorption. This triggers a massive insulin response that creates inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. Chronic inflammation in brain tissue leads to neuron death and shrinkage of brain regions crucial for memory and thinking. The rapid blood sugar spikes also trigger cortisol release. Elevated cortisol levels are particularly toxic to the hippocampus, literally causing this memory center to shrink over time. Studies show that people with chronically elevated cortisol have smaller hippocampi and worse memory function. The high fructose content is especially problematic for brain health. Unlike glucose, fructose is primarily processed by your liver. When you consume large amounts from orange juice, your liver becomes overwhelmed and begins converting excess fructose to fat, leading to metabolic dysfunction that affects brain health. Many seniors drink multiple glasses daily, thinking they're getting vitamins, when they're actually overwhelming their systems with brain-damaging sugar. The irony is devastating. Whole oranges provide the same vitamin C along with fiber and nutrients that actually protect brain health. White bread, the memory center destroyer. White bread is a staple in many senior diets, appearing in morning toast, sandwiches, and countless meals. But this seemingly innocent food has a devastating effect on brain health due to its extremely high glycemic index that spikes blood sugar faster than eating pure sugar, causing specific damage to your brain's memory center. Research from Harvard Public Health shows that high glycemic diets are associated with faster cognitive decline and increased dementia risk. People who regularly consumed high glycemic foods like white bread showed accelerated brain aging and worse memory test performance. When you eat white bread, your blood sugar rockets upward with a glycemic index of 75, higher than table sugar. This rapid spike triggers glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins in your brain tissue, forming harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These AGEs are particularly damaging to the hippocampus. The hippocampus has an extremely high metabolic rate and is densely packed with blood vessels, making it especially vulnerable to inflammatory damage from repeated blood sugar spikes. Over time, this damage accumulates and leads to measurable hippocampus shrinkage and corresponding memory problems. The rapid blood sugar spikes also trigger inflammatory chemicals called cytokines that cross the blood-brain barrier and attack brain cells throughout your entire brain. This widespread inflammation contributes to cognitive decline, brain fog, and processing speed reduction. The refined flour in white bread has been stripped of all fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind pure starch that hits your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. Many seniors eat white bread multiple times daily, creating repeated blood sugar spikes that continuously damage brain tissue. Processed meats, the neuroinflammation creators. Bacon, sausages, deli turkey, and other processed meats are common staples in senior diets, but these convenient protein sources contain nitrites, preservatives, and excessive sodium that create dangerous neuroinflammation and vascular damage, specifically in brain tissue. The BMJ published research linking processed meat intake with increased risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The study followed hundreds of thousands of people and found that regular consumption of processed meats was associated with significantly higher rates of cognitive decline. The nitrites used to preserve color and prevent bacterial growth convert to nitrosamines in your stomach and bloodstream. These nitrosamines are potent neurotoxins that can cross the blood-brain barrier and directly damage brain cells, particularly in regions responsible for memory and executive function. Processed meats are loaded with sodium, often containing 1,200 milligrams per serving, which damages the delicate blood vessels in your brain. High sodium intake causes these vessels to become stiff and less able to deliver adequate blood flow to brain tissue, leading to chronic oxygen deprivation that kills brain cells. The preservatives also trigger neuroinflammation, which is particularly devastating to aging brains. Unlike inflammation in other parts of your body, neuroinflammation can persist for months or years, continuously damaging brain tissue and accelerating cognitive decline. The high saturated fat content compounds the brain damage by promoting atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaques in arteries that supply blood to your brain. When these arteries become clogged, brain regions don't receive adequate oxygen and nutrients. Many seniors rely on processed meats for convenient protein, choosing deli turkey for sandwiches or bacon for quick breakfasts, not realizing they're consuming neurotoxins that are literally destroying their brain tissue with every meal. Diet soda, the blood-brain barrier destroyer. Diet soda tops our list as the most dangerous brain-shrinking food for seniors because it contains artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose that disrupt the gut-brain axis and may damage the blood-brain barrier, your brain's crucial protective shield against toxins. The 2017 Stroke Journal study found that seniors who drank just one diet soda per day had a 3 times higher risk of stroke and dementia compared to those who avoided these beverages entirely. This shocking finding revealed that diet sodas are actively neurotoxic and particularly dangerous for aging brains. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, break down into toxic compounds including methanol, aspartic acid, and phenylalanine when consumed. These breakdown products can cross the blood-brain barrier and directly damage brain cells, particularly neurons involved in memory formation and cognitive processing. But the most insidious damage occurs to the blood-brain barrier itself. This crucial protective membrane normally prevents toxins and inflammatory compounds from entering brain tissue. However, artificial sweeteners can increase the permeability of this barrier, essentially opening the floodgates for brain-damaging substances to enter your neural tissue. The gut-brain axis disruption from artificial sweeteners creates additional brain damage. These chemical compounds alter intestinal bacteria, which affects neurotransmitter production and inflammatory signals that directly impact brain function. Since 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your gut, this disruption can lead to mood changes, cognitive problems, and accelerated brain aging. Diet sodas also contain other brain-damaging additives like phosphoric acid, which can interfere with nutrient absorption and cellular function. The combination of artificial sweeteners, acids, and preservatives creates a toxic cocktail that's particularly harmful to aging brains. The deceptive marketing makes diet sodas especially dangerous for seniors. These beverages are positioned as healthy alternatives to regular soda, leading health-conscious seniors to consume them regularly while believing they're making good dietary choices. The reality is that diet sodas may be even more harmful to brain health than regular sodas. Many seniors drink multiple diet sodas daily, creating constant exposure to neurotoxic compounds that gradually destroy brain tissue. The cumulative effect of this daily brain poisoning can accelerate cognitive decline, increase stroke risk, and contribute to dementia development. These 5 common foods create a perfect storm of brain damage for seniors. Diet soda destroys the blood-brain barrier and triples dementia risk through neurotoxic artificial sweeteners. Processed meats create dangerous neuroinflammation with nitrites and excessive sodium. White bread spikes blood sugar higher than pure sugar, specifically damaging your memory center. Orange juice literally shrinks brain volume through concentrated fructose and inflammation, and pickles deliver brain-damaging sodium bombs that impair cognitive function. The pattern is clear. These foods that seem normal or even healthy are actually neurotoxic compounds that accelerate brain aging and cognitive decline. Your brain health is too precious to sacrifice for convenient processed foods that are marketed as harmless or healthy. These 5 brain-destroying foods can be eliminated from your diet starting today, and your brain will begin to benefit immediately from reduced inflammatory damage. Replace diet sodas with water flavored with fresh fruit. Choose fresh whole oranges instead of juice to get vitamin C with brain-protective fiber. Switch to whole grain breads that stabilize blood sugar rather than spiking it. Select fresh, unprocessed meats and fish instead of nitrite-laden processed options. And if you enjoy the crunch of pickles, try fresh cucumber slices with herbs instead of sodium-loaded jarred varieties. Remember, every food choice is an opportunity to either support your brain health or damage it. You have the power to protect your memory, thinking, ability, and cognitive independence by making informed decisions about what you put in your body. Don't let the food industry's deceptive marketing rob you of your cognitive health. Take control of your brain's future by eliminating these 5 neurotoxic foods and choosing whole, unprocessed options that nourish rather than destroy your most important organs.